Hello, this is another video, but this time I would like to share to you all over the world, all over the planet, with regard to our wonders of the Philippines, because I'm a Filipino writer, particularly in this YouTube channel, Reyes City Writer. So this video explains to us the legend of Salinas Salt Spring. Salinas Bambang used to enjoy the fame of its mysterious salt spring, which unfortunately died out in the 7.2 magnitude earthquake in 1991. This legend or history, the story we're about to read, recounts the etiology of Salinas Salt Spring. Now, as we read, we have to determine the classification of legend, and then we have to resemblance the legend of Salinas on Spring to a tragedy. Once upon a time, there lived in one village of Nueva Vizcaya a rich chieftain named Aklayan. He was also brave and powerful. He owned vast tracts of land. Because of his bravery, wealth, and power, many other chiefs in the neighboring villages respected him. A client had a beautiful daughter whose name was Yumina. Many young men aspired to win her heart. Among them was a young man named Gumay. Not only was he bold, handsome, and brave, he was also skillful with the bow and arrow. He was so skillful that he could shoot down a bird flying high in the sky. Gumain told his father about his love for Yumina and later said, "Son, you are not very rich and powerful as they are. Besides, you have a strong rival in the person of Indawa, who is the son of Yumina's father's closest friend." But Gumain was undaunted. He told his father that, despite the odds, he would try his luck. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Gumain told himself. And he continued his courtship of Yumina. He also persuaded his father to talk to Yumina's father. Although not as well as a client, Gumain's family was highly respected in the community. Yumina's father did not object to the marriage proposal. Because there were so many young men who asked for Yumina's hand, a client thought it best to call a meeting of the elders in the village. He would consult the men in the matter of the selection of Yumina's future husband. There was a lengthy discussion. It was decided that the man whom Yumina would marry would be the one who won in a contest. It would be a difficult and dangerous contest. Yumina was to stand 50 meters away from her suitors. A bamboo tube, a bamboo tube will be placed under her right arm. Each of the suitors would shoot 3 arrows through the tube. The man who succeeded in doing this would be her husband. Any contestant who would hurt the girl in any way would be killed. The day of the contest came, beautifully dressed and wearing a necklace of gold, earrings, and a headband. Yumina was brought to the sense of competition. Many people came to see the contest. First, Yumina took her position 50 meters away from the competing young men. And then she fixed the bamboo tube under her right arm. Then a client clapped his hands as a signal for the contest to begin. The first contestant bent his bow and let go his arrow, but the arrow flew away, missing its target. The second contestant followed. His arrow also missed the bamboo tube. The third contestant nearly hits Lumina's arm. Then it was Indawat's turn. Smiling with an air of overconfidence, he raised his bow and let go his arrow. The second round grasped his horror when Indawat's arrow nearly hit Yumina's waist. When it was Guman's turn, he first looked at Yumina, whose face lighted up with a sweet smile. This encouraged Guman. He smiled back and aimed his arrow, slowly and carefully. He bent the arrow and let go of the arrow. It went straight through the tube. There was a great roar from the crowd. The second arrow also went through the tube, and the crowd cried with joy. The third arrow again went through the tube. The crowd shouted and clapped hands with excitement. They had never seen before such a magnificent feat. After the contest, Guman with Guman and Yumina were married, and they were very happy. But Indawat was very bitter about his defeat. He thought of a plan by which he could destroy the married life of Guman and Yumina. One day, Indawat went to his father and asked him to invite a client and his family to a hunting party. Yumina's father accepted the invitation, not knowing that Indawat had an evil scheme. He immediately told several young men in the village to join him. On the day of the hunt, Indawat gave instruction to his men. They were to lead Kuman into the farthest part of the forest. As soon as they got near the river, they would call for Indawat. Indawat himself would go ahead and wait for them there. Guman did not know about Indawat's evil plan. He followed the men of Indawat. Upon reaching the river, Indawat's men gave a signal and Indawat came. After greeting Guman, Indawat told him that he would spotted a wild pig heading for the nearby cliff. Why don't we go after him? Indawat said. Guman agreed and off they went. When they were approaching the cliff, Indawat stopped and pretended to have stepped on a thorn. He sat beside the trail, acting as though he was removing the thorn from his foot. What he wanted actually was for Guman to walk ahead of him. So Guman walked ahead of Indawat, who quickly got up, followed Guman, and pushed the latter over the deep cliff. Guman fell headlong to the river below. Then Indawat pushed a big stone after Guman to make it appear that it was an accident. A rescue party was organized, and late in the afternoon, the body of Guman was recovered. Yumina cried and cried for several days. She suggested that the body of Guman be buried on the spot where the contest was held. Her suggestion was accepted and carried out. Every morning, evening, Yumina visited the burial spot, bringing with her flowers. Yumina continued to grieve over the death of Guman. One day, feeling sad and desolate, she knelt beside her husband's graveyard and wept bitterly. As tears flowed down her cheeks, Yumina cried, Bathala, oh Bathala, please let me die with my husband. After a short while, a flash of lightning came from the sky, followed by a deafening thunder. Then dark clouds appeared and soon rain was falling. As soon as the was over, the people came out, and to their surprise, they saw lifeless body of Yumina lying on top of her husband's grave. As they came to take Yumina's body to the house, the earth beneath the body gave in, and the ground swallowed Yumina. The next day, the villagers saw a spring flowing out of the spot where Yumina's body has been swallowed. Out of curiosity, they tasted the water. It was very salty. And they said that the water was salty because it was Yumina's tears. Today, the water of Salinas salt is salty. It is said that it is so because Yamina continues to weep for Guman. So that is how the Salinas salt spring was, they thought the tears of Yuminas were left there millions, a billion years ago. And the people there believe that it was the Yuminas tears. And this is the grief of Yumina's husband because Indawas, you know, traitor, the husband of Yumina. This is a very nice story or legend. However, it is a very short description into what on how these people in Salinas developed this simple mountain of salt. However, it was already, dried out because of the killer earthquake in 1991 in northern Luzon. But because of this, the wonders, the seven wonders of the world, I guess, was listed this Salinas Salt Spring before, but I do not know what happened to the list of the wonders of the world. So let us know later on. By history, we can also read the seven wonders. One of this is Salinas Salt Spring and Banawe Rice Terraces, located again here in the Northern Luzon, particularly in Banawe, Ifugao, and Salinas Salt Spring is in Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. So again, we hope to see you for the next video on this particular history story. Thank you very much for listening.